Let's talk about Aidan Chiles, quarterback that was recruited, a highly rated quarterback, by the way. I don't know if this is the highest rated quarterback that has ever played for Oregon State coming out of high school, but he came out of there and he was already he competed for the job against DJU legitimately and beat out Ben Branson, who was a starter at Oregon State the year before. DJU had legitimate competition. They had designated possessions where they played Aidan Chiles like throughout the season. Like you saw him like just come in there in the games and he actually did pretty well. Very athletic, really good arm. There are not enough folks high enough on Aidan Chiles. He's a spectacular player. It'll be interesting though. We get to see an entire full season, a full workload for Aidan Chiles on a team that is less talented than the one that he would have been playing at for Oregon State. Follows Jonathan Smith, of course. Jonathan Smith gets the Michigan State job after leaving Oregon State, which stirred up its own fries there in Oregon State, over there in Corvallis. But regardless, Aidan Chiles is there now, and he's got a shot. It's the Big Ten. It's a it's a tough ball game. It's a tough competition. Fortunately enough, won't be too far away from home when you got four Pac-12 teams coming over to the Big Ten. So I don't know. I mean, I think he's really good, but I'm still very uncertain about all of this. Very, very uncertain because this is not that same team that he's playing over at Oregon State. This is not the same offensive line that he played behind in practice. It's not the same offensive line that he played behind in those games. It's not going to be the same rushing attack. You're going to have a lot of the same coaching staff there helping you out, helping you acclimate you to the Big Ten. But it will be challenging, I believe. It will be challenging, but I have no doubt that Aidan Chiles in the next year or two will become a very, very, very effective quarterback at the college football level.
Yeah, no, for sure. You saw the flashes as a freshman. And to take a guy as experienced and has like coveted as DJU was for that Oregon State team and how good he was at times, right? He'd be playing well and he'd bring in Aiden Child's time. Yeah, there you go, bud. And he goes in and he made some plays. You saw the Arizona game where he had that long touchdown. Super, super impressive. You mentioned he's following Jonathan Smith in that staff to Michigan State. I love it for him and his development. Continue that continuity, continue growing with that staff. And obviously, you're on offense right now in a team that you kind of have some freedom, right? Not a ton of pressure to win right away for Childs, but also development is key for him and those wide receivers. TJ Sheffield, they're bringing from Purdue, a guy I really like, finally put together a little bit last year with Purdue. Monterey Foster comes back, Jaron Glover, Antonio Gates, all hoping to take the next step for Michigan State, and obviously Malik Carr at tight end. Who actually played pretty darn well last year. Yeah, in terms of what this means for Michigan State. First of all, yes, you mentioned like there's a reason he's a breakout guy in this list, but if you look at like the top end evaluators in our field, right, in the portal rankings, like he is super, super high up there because they understand the value he brings. Not only is he got 2 more years left of eligibility because before the NFL draft, because he's a true sophomore, but he had experience and you saw him play right away and played really, 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 really well at times and how coveted he was. And Jonathan Smith
Seven
to get him,
touchdowns, no turnovers,
yeah,
8.8 yards per attempt, which isn't great, but it'll get there. It'll get there.
for sure. For
And
sure.
dude, I think he's very, very, very good at football. I think he's very, very good. It just, again, like it's going to be different moving over to Michigan State. You're not playing behind that same offensive line at all. But I'm looking at like that quarterback, those quarterback recruiting rankings back in 2023, and you're looking at like Jaden Rashada, Avery Johnson, Austin Mack. Like he is in that tier with those guys, according to high school evaluators. But is this a good, highly rated, talented player? He is very good. He's very, very good. I like the athleticism too. That's such a plus, man. That's such a plus. We don't know how much he's going to be scrambling around back there, but it is certainly a plus to have the athleticism that he has. So, any
Well,
other
and
thoughts on Aiden Chiles?
yeah, the team that struggled to run the football like they have and struggled to protect the passer, it's nice having that mobility where you can either one add an extra number in the box for you to run the QB, but also roll him out of the pocket, get him going, cut off half the field, make sure he's got just got two reads or whatever. He just has to look at the safety and the corner there and kind of I wouldn't say like help his development, but more so just like protect him in games where you just don't have him back there as a sitting duck, waiting for Ohio State's edges to come in and just obliterate him. But yeah, in terms of what this means for him, because I mean, we love Aidan Chiles, right? Is it going to translate to wins? I don't know exactly, but I do believe he's going to break out in terms of you're going to see a ton of flashes all year from Aidan Chiles at the quarterback position. I mean, but if he does, like you can steal some games that you probably shouldn't win. And you're looking at a bowl game, you're looking at some big time momentum for Jonathan Smith in year one at Michigan State.